Hey guys, all right, so it is Friday the 13th, and so of course we're doing a get to know me, ask me anything video. I've got a bunch of questions here. They are in no particular order, but I also thought to make it less boring is that I will try some of these products that I have. I have got a bunch of stuff from Essence and a couple things from e.l.f. And so let's just see. We've got this new, very exciting, this new foundation stick. I thought it might be a skin tint, but I don't know if it actually is. So we're gonna try that. And then I also had I thought this was gonna be cool. This is the Jelly Grip Under Eye Primer Stick. Like, I love how they make all these little sort of like small, like I'm just one of those girls that likes little tiny small things. So yeah, so there, we're gonna try that. Then I also got this, the Sheer For It Blush Tint. So we'll try that. And then I have a mascara, the e.l.f. That's from e.l.f. by the way. And then this one is the e.l.f. Incredicurl mascara that I also want to try. And last but not least, I got this, and I don't know if I'll use this or not because I don't know, I'm just so bad at winged liner these days. This is the Essence Quick Wing Stamp Eyeliner. These are supposed to make it quick and easy and wonderful and just so simple and all that, but like sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. So anyway, we'll try these products and we will get into it. I want to use this under eye primer, but I don't want to put it on yet. I'll put it on right. I'll put it on now. I was gonna wait, like try and do it like when I am only using my concealer, but how I would normally do my makeup anyway, I don't think it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna matter. It feels really cooling, so that makes it feel like it's a bit more liquidy, but honestly, it's got that powdery, like silicone kind of feel, kind of. It's a little bit sticky. It does say it's a Jelly Grip primer, so I don't know. Okay, I accidentally got the foundation on the cap, so I don't like that. So, okay, first question I got is, what sort of diet style plan do I follow? And y'all, if this girl could follow a diet, like she wouldn't be as sick as she is. She'd be feeling good. But I can't. I'm the worst at following a diet. Now, several years ago, right after my son was born, I was diagnosed from a natural doctor, and please, I don't want to hear it, with Lyme's disease, okay? And so he put me on a diet that included supplements, cutting things out of your diet, that kind of stuff. And I did so good with it for a very long time. Well, let me rephrase that. Not that long. For a while I did. And then we moved. Our family had a thing and we moved. And just after that, I just never got back on board. I started going through menopause, having some severe menopause symptoms. And like, I just went through a really hard time and still am struggling with the Lyme's disease stuff. Okay, that foundation doesn't seem like it has a lot of coverage. It just seems sort of skin tint-ish. So the only thing I have to compare it to is this Maybelline Lifter stick, which I think is better. And I like it better. So no, I don't have a diet that I follow, much to my disappointment in myself. I think what I've been hoping to do is to cut out a lot of sugar from my diet, because it's just like, we all know that like it's not good to eat as much sugar as we all do, especially in the United States. Like, it's just not good for you. So my hope is to start getting better about that, and it's very difficult. I feel like since menopause hit, I have had more of a sweet tooth and have been having more low blood sugar episodes. And the easiest thing when you're feeling a low blood sugar episode is to grab candy, chocolate, like something that has like some weird hyper sugar whatever, and then like just so you're not feeling like you're gonna die. So that's that for diet. I did go vegan before I was diagnosed with Lyme disease. Again, I was having so many health problems. It was really bad, and I didn't know what was going on, and I did not, like, I had thought maybe it could be Lyme disease, but I didn't really believe that it probably was. I just thought it's all in my head. It's like like I just need to get all the bad stuff out of my diet, and then like everything will calm down and I'll be able to recover. This was directly after my son was born. And so I did for about 2 months. And I know this doesn't seem like a long time, but when you're doing it, it's long. I did do a raw vegan diet, and not for the philosophy, I did it for my health. And it didn't do anything for me one way or the other. Like, honestly, it didn't do anything for me. I didn't lose any weight. I didn't gain any weight. I didn't feel better. The only thing that's ever made me feel better was after I was diagnosed with the Lyme's disease. My natural doctor put me on a bunch of supplements, and those supplements, within like 3 days, I was already feeling better. So take from that what you will. Exercise. Got a question about exercise. Let's get some concealer on. And once again, girl, if I could get my exercise under control, like, I'd be feeling good. I'd be looking good. Neither of those things are true. But I have a problem because of the Lyme's disease. It knocks me down. It's hard to describe. Most people don't understand, but it basically, I just feel just not good. I have a lot of neurological symptoms, dizziness, like, not confusion, like you see how I'm not able to talk, to find my words, that kind of stuff. I get dizziness, confusion, shortness of breath, which is why they kept trying to tell me it was anxiety. But I'll get dizziness, confusion, shortness of breath, just nerve stuff. Like I'll start to feel like stuff crawling, like ants crawling all over me is what it sometimes will feel like. I have a lot of symptoms in my face because of it. It's compounded by my neck issues. So I'll be feeling like insects crawling on me. There's nothing there, like I'll be feeling hot and cold. Again, the thing that's the worst is the confusion and my eyes not being able to focus properly, which causes a lot of other anxiety type issues, like vertigo and just not feeling steady, like you're falling but you're not falling. Like it's very frustrating. So again, it's a lot of neurological stuff, which is hard. Like, you can bring this to doctors and they'll be like, oh, you just have anxiety, take these pills. And again, I had so many people saying, just take the pills, Holly, just take all the pills. Like, just make our lives easier by taking these pills. Like, it was, and again, like, these were people that cared about me and loved me. They just wanted me to feel better. So they just couldn't understand why I didn't just want to feel better. So they were just wanting me to take the pills, the quick fix. And I didn't do it because I didn't want to be reliant on medication for the rest of my life. And I did so much research that just really sort of supports the idea that, like, it's very rare for someone to go on 3 months of anti-anxiety medication that, by the way, would only make me not care about the symptoms that I was having. It's very rare for someone to do that. Very rare. People do it, but it's very rare. And then come off of it and then be like, well, that, I just needed it. I just needed it for a little while. Again, people do it, but it's rare, and I just didn't want to take that chance. Editing Holly here. I feel like I didn't actually answer the exercise question. And my ideal exercising right now has been walking, like trying to walk like 45 minutes a day, twice a day is what I have tried to do. Now, then I also like sort of pared that back down to like 10,000 steps a day. I'm trying to do just to do something to get moving. And please do not come at me with any of this, that'll never work, that doesn't really do. Like, that's why I don't exercise, is because every time I try to start some exercise thing, there'll be 10 videos that are like, it totally works, and then 10 more videos that are like, that will never work, you have to do that. Like, I can't with the too much information. Okay, so yes, I try to do something to move my body every day. It is difficult with the Lyme's disease, though, I will say that. Okay, so let's move on to something a little less heavy. What is your favorite holiday, religious or not? Okay, my favorite holiday, I would have to say, and holiday season is, of course, Christmas, but I am a lover of seasons and seasonal change. I adore all the seasons. I adore all the seasonal change. So I mean, Christmas has got to be like the favorite holiday, and I feel like that is in a religious way, sure, but it's also in a non-religious way. Like a lot of the Christmas traditions that we follow aren't really religious, or not in the way that we think of religious. They're basically like a societal holiday, and so I do love that. But also on the religious side of things, and please do not come for me in the comments. I'm not having that discussion today. Okay, you believe whatever you want to believe about Christmas, but in a Christian religion, Christmas time is a time where we recognize the birth of Christ, the miraculous virgin birth of Christ. And that's all I'm going to say. So religiously, it's that. But for someone like me, who is an everyday Christian, I always am recognizing, celebrating the virgin birth of Christ. So it doesn't have as much, Christmas time doesn't have as much of a religious significance to me. It's really just a societal culture type of a holiday. But I love it anyway, for all the reasons. All right, next question. What keeps you grounded during times of stress, making important decisions, stuff like that? Well, again, I've talked about being a Christian, and that's what keeps me grounded. It's very easy to sort of make decisions based on your own logic and thinking, and sometimes that's okay. God did give us a brain, you know, but we're just human. So I lean on God for times of intense stress and making decisions. And I know like people may not understand like what that actually means. It means that I read the Bible, which is God's word to mankind, so that I can glean wisdom and counsel and make my decisions accordingly. And nothing I'm going to decide to the best of my ability is going to go against what God tells us to do in the Bible. So that's how I do it. I have people around me that I bounce ideas off of. But what I've found, I've been in times of intense stress, like really intense. And usually what happens is I don't know what it is, but it's like at the time, usually, not always, but at the time of the intense stress, that's when I can and will sometimes feel the most calm. It's the other times, the not knowing, like I have a hard time not knowing, not that I always have to know, but like those are the things that cause me anxiety. Like what if my kid gets in a car crash, that kind of stuff. Like when my mind starts to do stuff like that, that's when I have a hard time handling the stress. And the Bible does talk about that God doesn't give us the spirit of fear, but we're still human beings and we still do experience fear, which is why it also says in the Bible that what time I am afraid, I will trust in God. So you are going to be afraid at certain times, you are going to experience anxiety at certain times, you are going to worry about things at certain times, but the key is to understand that God is in control of everything. And no matter what happens, even if you were to die or my children were to die, they're going to go to heaven when they die because they have accepted Jesus Christ as their Savior. And our time on earth is nothing in comparison to the time that we're going to spend in eternity. And so that's sort of the way our minds as Christians sort of deal with these when problems come up. In regular everyday decisions, you just got to, read your Bible. The book of Proverbs is great for getting wisdom for daily decisions that you have to make. Plus, I don't think there's anything wrong with seeking advice from experts, stuff like that. But again, always got to use your discernment for that. Okay, so let's try this blush. These sort of products really scare me, so we're just going to be careful, a little bit at a time. Oh, okay. Just like the Essence What a Tint, it's a lot easier to use than I was anticipating and fearing. All right, so far seems fine. You guys know that I do already like the Essence What a Tint. So I kind of feel like that e.l.f. is a little late to the party for this one. I'm gonna put a little bit more of this on because I feel like I just want a little bit more. It's kind of sheer, honestly. All right, so next question is, how many kids do you have? I have got 4 children, 2 girls, 2 boys. Love them all with everything that I have. They are everything to me. And yep, 2 of them are in college, 1 of them is about to get married, and 2 of them still living at home. Okay, so that's looking cute. It's fine. Am I going crazy over it? No. I mean, there's so many makeup products. It just takes a lot to impress me. Or it has to be something that's like fulfills some sort of basic need that I have. And sometimes that's not a need that anybody else might have, or a preference. Okay, next question. What's your go-to concealer? I used it today. It is the Bare Minerals Correcting Concealer in the shade Light 2. And as you can tell, I am hitting pan. That's the natural one. The more full coverage one is the Revolution Pro Ultimate Coverage Crease Proof Concealer in the shade C5. It is not all the things that it says it is, but it's a good coverage concealer and does well to color correct. So, but I don't even know if it's even available anymore. Let's try this mascara now. Next one is a little bit, I don't know, sort of a daring question. How old are you? I'm 46. I say this all the time. I am 46 years old. Oh, look at that. Very nice. I'm glad that it scrapes off a lot of the product, but I will say these curved brushes, they have a hard time scraping off the tip of it. The other part of that question is, how old were you when you started to go gray? I found my very first gray hair when I was like 21, but again, it was like, could happen to anybody. I plucked it, no big deal. By the time I was 27, people were starting to ask me if I had gotten highlights, and it was really just my gray hair. But by the time I was about, like, it really started to become apparent just before, like a couple years before my son was born. So I'm gonna say 33-ish is when I just stopped coloring it, and not to cover the grays. I never colored it to cover the grays. I colored it to try different colors. This mascara is not wowing me at all. It seems fine, it seems okay, it doesn't seem amazing. I do like that there's not too much product. So it is making them a little bit fluffy and bushy, but it's nothing to make me jump up and down over. So the mascara is okay. Do we really want to try to do the winged liner? Why not? This is what the stamp looks like. I've used these before. Let's check the other end. I don't know why they make these giant tipped, but the tip of it does seem like it can give you a moderately fine line. Let's see. Next question. Have you always been a crafter? Okay, that worked out really good. I guess yes. I mean, I've always loved crafting. I love to work with my hands. I love to make things with my hands. I love that sort of thing. And I also love to use what I make in my own life, give as gifts, stuff like that. So I've always been a crafter pretty much. I've done all crafts almost. The only thing I never got into real big was knitting. I'm not an artist. Like I mean, I guess I could paint it. Like it depends on your definition, but I'm not an artist as far as like drawing, that kind of stuff. But I do like to make things with my hands. But I do enjoy painting. Like if I could get into the Bob Ross way, I would totally do that. Okay, so that wing actually turned out pretty decent. The only thing I don't like is it's very difficult for this big fat liner pen to make a fine enough line. Let's try the other one, other side. Nope, looks good. I may be doing this all the time now. That actually was a lot easier than I was expecting. And they did ask about my favorite craft. I don't know that I actually have a favorite craft, because I also feel like I have a touch of the ADHD, and I will start to get, I don't like to use the word bored, but I like to switch things up. Let me know what you guys think about this liner. Did I do it right? Does it look good? Am I crazy? Let me know. All right, that's pretty much the look. Like, I think something that is difficult for me is that I feel like the liner sort of detracts from the mascara and the lashes. So I've got this liner on, but it's like I have no lashes because my lashes point down. And I'll curl them in a minute, but like that's the only thing I can say bad about the liner. Otherwise, I kind of like the look of it. You let me know in the comments. Let's go ahead and use this stain for a lip. Let's do a little bit more. I feel like this is your run-of-the-mill clean girl aesthetic that's been going around, which, by the way, everyone is like, they are like down with the clean girl aesthetic. We're so finished with that. We're going to do something 2016, 2010. Like, that's what we were hoping for. So, and I don't know, but it might be a ploy of the makeup companies who are like, we need you guys to buy more makeup and use more makeup. So I'm not accusing anybody. I'm just asking questions, okay? Speaking of questions, let's finish up these questions. We're almost done. My kitty cat's names. I have two kitties. I can't see that one. That one. But this one here, her name is, I almost got confused. This one's name is Gnocchi, like the potato dumpling gnocchi. That's her name. And I got that from my children. I have kids, you guys, and like they're everything to me. So their lives sort of envelop my life as well. So Curious George the cartoon was a thing that all my kids watch, and they still do, by the way, and I still like it as well, but there's a cat on there named Gnocchi, and so that's where she got her name. The other one, who you can only see the paw of, that one, her name is Chloe. Now, I don't love that name, but she was a gift for my daughter, and my daughter named her Chloe. So I just call them Kitty and Sweetie and Baby and Love and all that. So they don't usually get their names called anyway. So I guess it doesn't matter that much. Last thing, where is your location? I am located in the Midwest. I shan't give you my full address because I'm not stupid. Well, I mean, that is debatable, but I'm not going to give you my full address. I'm located in the Midwest, love the Midwest. I also adore a tropical climate such as a Florida climate, love that. But I also adore a mountain like climate as well, sort of like the Idaho situation, like the Cascade Mountain area. Love that. Smoky Mountains. Oh, don't get me started with Tennessee. Like, I love them all. But I do like the Midwest because you do get seasons, and I enjoy that. And where we're at right now is like, you get winter, but you don't get insane winter. I was living around Chicago for a while, and y'all can have that. Y'all can have that. Winters are just too cold. It's not right. It's not right. Humans were not meant to live in climate such as that. And career path. I had someone ask about my career path. Well, I went to high school. Then I went to a technical school for dental assisting. And like, again, I never had this, I'm going to be something someday. No, I just wanted to do something that I could be content with doing that would pay bills that I had. And I did that. Unfortunately, I became pregnant during my career as a dental assistant, and they were still wanting me to take x-rays, and I didn't want to do that for my baby's sake. And you know, that's a whole other story, but like, so I ended up quitting that, and then after that, we moved around a lot. My husband was in the Navy. Like, there was a lot of different things that happened. So I just was a stay-at-home mom after my son was born. That was not the plan, by the way. Like, I was planning to live in the same area where my parents lived and his parents lived. And I was like, well, as soon as this baby is like 3 months old, you know, I'll just have my mom babysit and I'll go back to work. God had other plans. So I have been a stay-at-home mom for years. I've tried desperately my entire married life to do something where I could make a little bit of money and yet still attend to my children and give them the best possible life, while also giving myself a little bit of an outlet. And it has really never worked out for me. Even this, and this was part of the question, even YouTube is not a full-time job at all. I make probably about $50 a month from ad revenue. I have thought about monetizing in a different way, Patreoning, that kind of stuff, but it just, I don't think I get enough views and have enough people to make that a possibility for me. So now I'm just accepting that I'm pretty much just doing this as a hobby, which I fully enjoy. I would love to make more money. I would love to get sponsorships. I would love to do any of that stuff, as long as it doesn't put this heavy pressure on me to be a career person, especially with my chronic illness and my family. So again, I always just thought that I would be a wife and a mother. Like, that was what I just thought I would be. And I have no regrets. Like, I like that path in life. But I do understand, like, sometimes when you're a wife and a mother, you want to do something that can occupy your mind, like, and time, and give you that stress relief sometimes that a job, career, craft, whatever, can give you. So I think that's it. Let me know if you have any further questions, and we can do another one. And I've had so many ideas for, like, just, you know, rant videos, which I have those too, like spill the tea videos, like stuff like that. Like, if you guys would be interested in any of that kind of stuff, you let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. As far as the makeup goes, I'll put any updated thoughts that I have in the description. And again, any more questions that you guys might have, please let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to thumbs up, like, subscribe, ding my bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.